Namaste and good morning to everyone. Hope you all are good, and I am again here. And every time I tell you what we are doing together. So I am reading the book of secrets, and this book of secrets in Hindi is known as Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, and it is a conversation between Shankar, that is Shiva, and Parvati, that is Devi. And Parvati is very curious to know what is the reality of Shiva and what is the real truth of universe. So Shiva is answering Parvati, and he says that there is just one way to know what is the real truth of universe, that is you need to attain, you need to reach to your center. And then Parvati or Devi ask how to reach to my center, and Shiva gives her a number of techniques to enter to reach up to your own center. So we have completed 12 techniques till now, and today I am going to do 2 techniques with you, that is the technique for centering. So both the techniques are beautiful, and I hope if you are going to try, you are going to reach towards your center. I am just again sharing that the aim, objective of all the techniques which is shared here is to lead you towards to your center. It's to lead you where the mind stops and only you are left. So do it, try it, practice it for some time, and then if you feel like that yes, this is made for you, you can always follow the technique. Okay, so the 13th technique is concentrate totally on one object. Now what is this meant by concentrate totally on one object? This is a beautiful technique. There can be 2 ways of performing this technique. The first way can be you can just take one point on a wall or one piece. Maybe it can be a sculpture of the god we feel like, or if you are devoted to a god, you can take the sculpture or an idol, or you can select a point or a sign. Maybe the sign of the religion you follow. It can be a Om sign, it can be a swastik sign, anything. So it is like you need to search for one point on the thing which you have selected to concentrate. And now you need to keep your eyes open and look at it continuously without blinking your eyes for some time. Yes, tears may start rolling from your eyes, but you can try to concentrate and look at one point continuously. And this is going to help you. After some time, you will notice that what you are watching disappears. So when the mind disappears, the thing you are watching is going to disappear, and for flicks of seconds you can reach or touch your center, or you can feel that centering in for a very flick of seconds. And again, when the mind will be back, you will be able to see the idol or the center. Now what is this? We feel that we see from our eyes, we see through our eyes, but a mind is required to see through the eyes. And when the mind disappears, you cannot see anything. You meet your center. So this is a beautiful way to do it. And there are more ways given here. Something you can visualize that all the senses, all the 5 senses are of 5 different colors. And you can just visualize this thing, and you can visualize the melting of these colors at one point. Now this you can do by closing your eyes. So you can just close your eyes and you visualize that all those 5 or 7 colors are there which are rotating, and then they rotate and they are rotating, and then they meet at one point. And then when this meeting happens, you disappear and you reach towards your center. So I really found this technique very beautiful, and even you can use this technique. Okay, so I'm going to read few lines from the book, and you will come to know what the centering is meant. The centering will make you aware of your existential roots. You will know from where you are joined to the existence. In you, there is a point which is related with the total existence, which is one with it. Once you know the center, you know you are at home. The whole world is not alien. You are not an outsider. You are an insider. You belong to the world. There is no need of any struggle. There is no fight. There is no relationship between you and the existence. The existence becomes your mother. It is the existence that has come into you and that has become aware. It is the existence that has flowered in you. This feeling, this realization, this happening, and there can be no anguish again. So you get relieved from your anguishes and you feel blissed. Then bliss is not a phenomenon. Then it is not something that has happened to others and then it happens to you and then it goes. No. Then the blissfulness is your very true nature and it gets rooted into you when you reach towards your center. One happens to be blissful, and by one even becomes unaware that one is blissful, because awareness needs contrast. If you are miserable, then you can feel it when you are blissful. When misery is no more, by and by you forget misery completely, and you forget your bliss also. And only when you can forget your bliss also are you really blissful. Then it is natural. As stars are shining, as rivers are flowing, so are you blissful. Your being is blissful. It is not something that has happened to you now. It is you. So if you find people, if you meet people and they say, I am joyful and I am blissful, I am always in the state of Ananda, then also you can say that it is false. Because when you are in the state of Ananda, you can see people happy and they forget that blissfulness also. And if you are miserable, it is visible on your face. You may not say that I am miserable, but your face shows so. So when you're miserable or you're joyful and when you are more joyful, I should say, when you're blissful and you forget this, then you are more centered. So it is a very easy way to say that you have reached or not. So when you are ultimately going to reach towards your center, it will be like you will be all happy. Okay. And this happiness is a very little word. There are words when you reach into the state of joy. I find myself less to describe myself what is the real feeling. Okay. Now this is the 14th sutra which I am taking. Again, this is a centering technique, and it is also good. And basically, this is said if a woman does it, she finds it more easier to do it, because women are more connected with your body. So it is the 4th technique, the 4th sutra. Put your awareness on your spine. So take your whole attention in the nerve, delicate as the lotus thread, in the center of your spinal column. In such be transformed. So there is so much explained here, and let me talk about yourself. So when I say visualize your spine, close your eyes and just look at your spine. So it may be difficult for you. If I say imagine yourself and know yourself, close your eyes and see yourself, most of you all are going to see your face, your smiles, your eyes, but no one is going to peep inside where whole the flesh and blood moves. It is so difficult and it is so horrifying. If we see flesh and blood, we feel afraid, we feel fearful. So under this skin, under this whole material, I am the same and you are the same, with bones and flesh and blood. And when we say that visualize yourself, you can never see yourself with that bony structure, with that muscles, with the threads and with the flesh. You don't visualize yourself that way. So though the sutra is not asking you to do so, but I just say know your real reality. The face which you say, the face with whom you have attached yourself with your name, that is not the real you. Every one of us are same. We have all those bony structures inside, and we have these hollows here, and there are hollows here also. So, and all those red blood and the muscles, and we see it inside. So there is nothing different. So just leave the reality and know the reality. Leave this artificial thing. Don't leave the reality. I'm sorry. It's like know the reality and get into yourself. So this sutra explains you this also. And this sutra says that close your eyes and imagine and feel your back, feel your vertebral column, feel your spine. And when you start from the base, just visualize that there is a silver thin cord which starts from your back base and then it ends here somewhere here, and then it reaches to your head. So visualize that there is a silver spine or a silver thread which is there at your back, and you can start feeling it. And when you go deeper and deeper and you feel it, You can visualize a silver thread, and this can help you. And this realization, how does it help? So I'll read few lines from the book so that I can be more sure of it. So this sutra, these are the beautiful lines I have marked. The sutra will be more helpful for women than for men. They are more body oriented. They live more in the body. They feel more. They can visualize the body more. Women are more body oriented than men. But for anyone who can feel the body, who feels the body, who can visualize, who can close his eyes and feel his body from within, this technique will be very helpful for him or her. Then visualize your spinal column, and in the middle a silver cord running through it. First it may look like imagination, but by and by the imagination disappears and you realize the real you. And then when you realize the spinal cord or the spinal column, in this moment you get the transformation done. So close your eyes, feel your body, relax, concentrate on the spinal column. And the sutra says, very simple, in such be transformed, and you will be transformed through it. Isn't it beautiful? I really like to do this back spine meditation, and it is like, it makes me realize, when I travel inside my body, it makes me realize that the face is not where I attach myself to. I am not that. I am just the flesh and the bone and the blood which is running inside me. And if we all get that, we are detached from all those shosha around us. Okay. So these were the 14 techniques which we have completed, and the next sutras are more of the penetration techniques where you can penetrate inside, and we are going to start them tomorrow. And tomorrow we can do 3 of them. Okay. And so it is like every time when we meet, I am only here telling you what to do, and then I don't know if you all are practicing it or not. So let me teach you something related to breath, and I think it is Anulom Vilom, if we can practice it together. I have in my first or second video I have explained you how you breathe. So today I am going to teach you the correct way of Anulom Vilom, and though this is a yoga way, but it is going to help you to make your breath deeper. So let us do it, and if you can put your mobiles on some stand which is away from you, and you can just do it with me, it is going to be more helpful. Okay, so make this mudra. Okay, this is make this mudra. Put your finger and your pointer together, and these 3 fingers should be together. This is known as Gyan Mudra. Put it on your knee, and with this hand, with your right hand, you need to close your right nostril. Okay, thumb you are going to use it to close your right nostril. This is the ring finger which is going to help you to close your left nostril, and these 2 fingers you can keep on your third eye chakra. Okay, now what you have to do is, you are going to close your right nostril, breathe in from your left nostril. Now close your left nostril and breathe out from your right nostril. Again breathe in from your right nostril and breathe out from your left nostril. And this is the way you need to continue doing it, and I hope everyone must have learned the same way, but this is just the first basic step. Now there is more to be added in real Anulom Vilom technique. Okay, the second thing is you need to breathe in with 4 turns. Okay, so when you breathe in, your stomach should come out, your chest should come out, your shoulders should go up. When you breathe out, your shoulders should bend, your chest should go in, and your stomach should go in. And the 4th step is you need to shrink and take your anus inside. Okay, again when you breathe in, you need to release your anus, your stomach should come out, your chest should swallow, and your shoulders should go up. When you breathe out, again Your shoulders should go down, your chest should go in, your stomach should go in, tucked in, and your anus should also be tucked in. This is the way of breathing when you are doing Anulom Vilom. The third thing to follow in Anulom Vilom is Kumbhak. Now Kumbhak is you need to stay. When you breathe in, you need to stay. You need to hold your breath inside, and when you exhale, you need to hold your breath outside. Okay, so that is going to be the correct way. You need to remember that there is Surya Nadi, the right one, there is the Chandra Nadi, the left one, and these two nadis are there which gives you healing. So if you have a good cold, you can breathe, you can close your left and you can breathe in from your right, breathe on, breathe out from your right. So what it cures, it gives you heat. It is a Surya Nadi, it is a sun, I should say, way of breathing. So it makes your body hotter. If you have something where you are feeling more hot, maybe you are having high BP or you are restless because of the heat, so you need to close your right, breathe in from your left, breathe out from your left. So if you're doing it for 5 to 10 times, this gives you relief. Okay, again I come back to Anulom Vilom. As I told you, you need to follow 3 things in Anulom Vilom. First is going in from your left, going out from your right, going in from your right and going out from your left. The first thing. The second is you need to breathe in deep from your stomach, from your chest, from your shoulder. When you release, you need to make a vacuum by closing your anus. Okay, this is the second thing. And the third thing is, when you are doing it, you need to do the Kumbhak also. Now there are people who teach that take 4, then stay for 4, then out is 6, and then in is again stay, hold for 2. So I don't say yoga doesn't give you anything where you need to count breaths or stay. It depends on your capacity. Slowly you need to increase this capacity to hold. You need to hold till you are able to hold. Okay, so thank you. And Arasu, you can also do it along with me. Just keep your mobile in front and we all can do it together. Use your ring finger to close your left one, thumb to close your right, and these 2 fingers stay on your third eye. So breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. When you breathe out, put your shoulders down, chest in, stomach in, and tuck in your anus. And then hold. Again breathe in, release your anus. Breathe in from your stomach, from your chest, and your shoulders should go up. Again hold. Open your left nostril. Breathe out. Put your shoulders down. Take your chest in. Keep breathing out. Take your stomach in. And pull your anus in. And then you need to hold till you can. Now this is like just one cycle. Every day, if you want to increase the capacity of your lungs, you need to do this cycle at least 10 times. Okay. If you are pregnant, you should not do the stomach in and out or should not play with your anus. So if there is a pregnancy, then you should not do it. But with anything, if you have high BP, if you have low BP, if you have diabetes, if you have asthma, with all those diseases, this 4 parts need to be worked out. And this is the correct way of breathing. So just do it, and then you can repeat these sutras. Select your own sutra, select your own key, because it's your lock. I really don't know which sutra or which key is going to help you, and try using that key to open and reach up to your center. And then we are going to meditate together. And there were few messages with me that someone asked ki how to do death meditation. So I think tomorrow we are going to do the death meditation. I'll be guiding you. You all can use your headphones and you can put your mobiles aside, and while I guide you, you all can do it. So at 10:30 I may start with the death meditation first, and then we are going to cover the 3 sutras maybe day after tomorrow. So if you all are interested, we can do the death meditation, the journey after your death tomorrow. Okay, so see you then. Bye, take care. See you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. sharp. Bye.